Alaska has been on my bucket list for a long time. It's finally going to happen, and I'm excited. Hi, my name is Sharon, and I have adventures in a wheeled chair. A lot of preparation went into our cruise before we even left home. As soon as our reservation was confirmed, we began planning for the trip. We were booked on the Royal Caribbean ship Quantum of the Seas. Quantum is like an old friend. We sailed on her inaugural voyage back in 2014. One of our favorite spots on the Quantum quickly became the solarium. This is a glassed enclosed area on the forward end of deck 14. This should be a perfect place to experience the variable weather on an Alaska cruise. Another feature we learned to love about the Quantum was the 270 lounge on the lower aft decks with wraparound views. During daylight hours, this provides spectacular views of the wake behind the ship. The stage area is used for live performances. At night, the glass becomes a giant screen. This provides some interesting possibilities. Overhead are robotic arms with moving display panels. Some interesting artwork is found throughout the ship, even inside the elevator shafts, and I just loved the butterflies. Quantum will sail from Seattle on May 16th, and we will spend 7 nights going up the inside passage and then back to Seattle. Along the way, Quantum will stop at the ports of Icy Straits and Skagway, then cruise up into Endicott Arms to see the Dawes Glacier. Later in the same day, Quantum will stop at Juneau. After another day out at sea, there is a stop at the city of Victoria on Vancouver Island, and then Quantum returns to Seattle. For this trip, we have a handicapped accessible cabin on deck 8 near the forward elevator shafts. We also installed the Royal app on our phones. This app was helpful in many ways. It helped keep the ship's itinerary. It showed the deck plans. We were able to schedule meal reservations and keep track of any changes. And we stored our key documents to help speed up our check-in. We were almost ready to go, but we needed to make a final decision on which wheeled chair we should take on the cruise. Our last cruise, we used the old standby basic wheelchair, but this time we had a new candidate Airhawk. There was also the always available walker. All 3 chairs folded up. And the winner was the Airhawk. We started planning our packing inventory with layered clothing because we knew the weather would be unpredictable. Alaska spring weather can change quickly. We needed some gear for cold and wet weather, but not too much. We spent some time laying out cameras and tripods and cables and power packs for the videos. When we got all the planning done, we piled everything up on the bed and started packing it into our suitcases. We had been watching the Quantum of the Seas cross the Pacific Ocean as it moved from Singapore to Japan to Seattle to begin its new cruising itinerary in Alaska. We assembled our documentation, including passports, driver's license, and vaccination card. 48 hours before boarding the ship, we took our COVID test, and we passed them. Finally, we were ready to get on the plane early the next morning. A route alarm woke us up at 2 a.m. We rode a shuttle van to Austin Bergstrom Airport. We made it through TSA security line. Our gate changed, so we had to move over to the new gate.
We're now boarding rows 30 to 40.
We were flying Delta, and they offered to check our carry-on baggage for free, so we did that. Shortly, we took off, and were on our way to Seattle. A helpful flight attendant showed us how to use the TV and gave us some complimentary earplugs. A while later, we were landing at sea-tac Airport in Seattle. We got off the plane, got some food, and settled in at the baggage carousel to wait for my son to arrive. We made our way over to the Link light rail and discovered all passengers were riding for free that day only.
This is the 1 line to Northgate. Next stop, Columbia City.
saw the two stadiums when you were on the plane coming in?
No, the
Yeah,
clouds took them.
Yeah, the baseball and the football took over driving to that. We're going to go one night and see how and it's all lit up at night. On our way home, it's all. There's a Ferris wheel.
Now entering Soto. Doors to my right.
Yeah, are you guys going to stay up until dark, after dark?
Yeah, we just stay
Yeah,
overnight.
back in the city.
We pick up our ship tomorrow morning between 11 and 12.
Oh, you're getting on a ship?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
The cities.
How long is the
7 days.
Oh, that's really cool.
They just came back to the Asian market for the Alaska season.
Yeah.
And then after the season, they would go back.
Is there anybody in the outfit? He's slow as not your brother. No, Chuck's way fast. This guy, you can time this guy's speed with a sundial. That's full speed. But he somehow always hits triples. I'm like, well, I've never seen one. Well, nobody sees it.
Yes, there's stuff. American.
I don't mind.
Yeah, we got a new stadium in LA where the Chargers went and the Rams this year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a really so tight.
Next stop, International District, Chinatown.
I'm a huge Steve fan.
It used to be the Oilers, right? Now it's
Can't remember it right off the top of my head. Yeah. Honey, what's the name of Houston's team again?
Oh, pretty
You remember?
I usually do.
You know? Hey, Pat. What's the name of Houston's football team?
Texas.
Texans, yes.
That's a tough one, though.
Yeah.
They put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah. We got off the light rail at Westlake Station and made our way through the rain to go get some lunch at the Cheesecake Factory. When we finished eating, we called an Uber and waited under the cover of the convention center roof. At the hotel, we could see the Space Needle Tower and some of downtown Seattle. Stay tuned, the adventure continues tomorrow when we board the ship to sail to Alaska.